Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marco and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. In today's video, we're gonna be discussing if Dogecoin truly is going to the moon or not based on unbiased facts. So I'm getting hundreds of DMs every day, both on Twitter and also on Instagram, and I cannot reply to all of these regarding Dogecoin. So we're gonna start in this video, typically how I structure all my videos. I'm gonna give you a quick snippet or quick background on Doge so we understand the asset. Then I'm gonna list off some of the cons first, then the pros, and then my thoughts at the end of the video. I will be comparing Doge sometimes to Bitcoin, sometimes to Ethereum. The only reason for that is simply because I understand both those pretty well, and then also because they have the highest market caps outside of Doge. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Okay, so quick intro on Dogecoin if you're not familiar. Dogecoin was started by two programmers named Billy Markus and Jackson Palmer, who were programmers at the time at IBM and Adobe. It was founded in December of 2013, making it about 7.5 years old at this point, and it was literally started as a joke. Yes, this was started as a meme coin to be a joke. So that still hasn't stopped it from gaining billions of dollars in market cap at the time of this recording, and I think a lot of that is attributed, which we'll talk about, to some of the community, which literally sponsored the Jamaican bobsled team by Dogecoin, and it also sponsored Josh Wise's NASCAR car at some point, which you can see right here. So the next point in this video, we're gonna go over some of the cons. I'll structure those out, then we'll go over the pros, and then we'll go over my thoughts at the end. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. I'm trying to pack in a lot of information. The first con to Dogecoin is its unlimited supply, in my opinion. So miners, just like Bitcoin, they're rewarded for proof of work, meaning that they have to validate transactions, AKA a block. So a block is essentially, think of it like a packet of information verifying transactions on the network or on the blockchain. Once miners do this and show this proof of work, they are rewarded with a block reward. At the time of this recording and forever on, you will get 10,000 Dogecoin for every block reward that you get. Right now, this is roughly $5,600. However, here's the rub. So a block reward, unlike Bitcoin, which is roughly every 9.5 to 10 minutes, Dogecoin actually gets a block reward every minute. So there's 10,000 of those times 60 minutes, 10,000 Dogecoin times 60 minutes in an hour. That's 600,000 new Dogecoin introduced into the system every hour. That's 14.4 million every day and 5.26 billion every year. This makes it inflationary. It makes it incredibly inflationary, actually. So it's similar to the fiat currencies that most cryptos are trying to separate themselves from by becoming deflationary. So the other rub is that there's no cap, okay? There's no supply cap on how many Dogecoin can come into existence, as opposed to something like Bitcoin, which is capped finitely at 21 million ever, period. So typically what this means is that since there's going to be more supply, it makes the Dogecoin less scarce, and in my opinion, making it worth less. So con number 2 is Dogecoin's limited utility, or its limited use case. So there are very limited instances in which Dogecoin can actually do anything. That's not to say that the tech is terrible, which we'll get into later in this video, but basically there's little to no use cases today at the time of this recording. So according to this article at CryptWork, which I'll put on the screen right here, there are roughly 1,300 businesses that accept Dogecoin. Some of the businesses on this screen I'm not really familiar with, and that's a much different use case than potentially like an eBay or a PayPal or a Square, for example, utilizing like a Bitcoin or Ethereum, for example. So according to bizjournals.com, the United States has 32.5 million businesses, and you can see that Dogecoin is a very, very, very small percentage of that. So could Dogecoin become the next base settlement layer when it comes to, central banks moving around gold? I don't know, but only time will tell, but my guess is probably not. So con number 3 is that it's driven by memes and social media. So memes are powerful tools to get your message across, whether they're political, financial, whatever. I'm a huge fan of memes because usually they're funny and they strike right to the core of the issue. They typically have good intentions behind them. The difference between Dogecoin memes and other memes is that they're funny, but there's no depth. They're not as deep as other memes, which could really change the world. And when I say that, I'm talking about Ethereum potentially changing traditional finance. I'm talking about Bitcoin becoming the base settlement layer of all international transactions worldwide. So with this example, the Dogecoin memes are funny. You see Elon Musk with Dogecoin on a rocket. You see a little dog riding a rocket. They're hilarious, and I genuinely like them, but they're not as deep as some of the Bitcoin memes out there, in my personal opinion. The reason for this is, I'm getting to a point here, is that this basically leads to a greater fool theory, okay? So without there being a strong use case, going back to my original point in the previous points of this video, this just leads to simply looking things from a nominal price standpoint, meaning that, oh, the number's going up, I wanna get rich, let me invest into Dogecoin, for example. So this is greater fool theory. If you're not familiar, greater fool theory is simply people buying it in order to hold it, hoping that someone else, AKA the greater fool, buys it from them at a higher price. Con number 4 is Doge's inactive development. So Doge is open source software, just like many other cryptocurrencies, just like Bitcoin is, for example. However, just like any other software though, active development is required in updating it to keep up with changes, fix potential vulnerabilities, etc., etc. So the issue is that when I checked GitHub, Doge was last committed to on February 21st, to Dogecoin Core, if you want to call it that. However, the last time Core was updated before that was November of 19, okay? So to give you perspective, we're looking at almost, I'd say, year and a half-ish, not really a year and a couple months. Bitcoin Core was last updated 2 days ago, okay? It's always being worked on. So to be fair though to Doge, development is starting to pick back up again, but I think a lot of this has to do with obviously the interest and the price. Okay, so enough of the cons, let's get to some of the pros of Dogecoin. Number 1 is that the technology works. So this is simply just a fork off of Litecoin. So if you know what a fork is, it's basically when you take that code, some developers say, hey, I wanna go this direction. The rest of the developers say, I wanna go that direction. If they don't come to a consensus agreement, at least in Bitcoin, it's how it works, you fork off and create a new coin. So that's what Dogecoin is. So just like Bitcoin, you can still use it quickly and securely to send value to anyone in the world. The second pro is that the fees are relatively low and the confirmation times are quick. Remember, every block is 1 minute, and it's also somewhat censorship resistant. Censorship resistance is a big part of cryptocurrency, and that's why I like to invest in it, but it's not completely censorship free, if you will. It's kind of pseudonymous, not anonymous, but that's a different topic for a different video. And then finally, the best pro of Dogecoin is that the dog is cute. Okay, so finally my thoughts, which I give at the end of every video I do. In my personal opinion, the memes, the social media, and the price are what's driving Dogecoin to keep going higher and higher, going back to that greater fool theory, not because of its technology. When comparing Doge to either like a Bitcoin or Ethereum, for example, it's not apples to oranges, it's apples and elephants. Number 2, promotes degenerate gambling. So as long as you know that you are investing in something that's pure speculation, not necessarily growing based on foundational technology, then that's fine. I don't think that it's going to be used as a global currency. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're making incredible gains, please go ahead and do that. Just set aside a certain percentage of your portfolio to invest in something like this. If you're telling me you're buying real estate in Manhattan 100 years ago, I would say that is a great investment. If you told me you're buying $100,000 worth of Dogecoin just to kind of YOLO it, I would say that's more like speculation or gambling rather than investing. That's just my opinion. So there's a lot of people DMing me about Dogecoin only looking at price and not understanding what they're investing in. And again, that's not investing, that's gambling, and that's okay as long as you're aware of that. And then finally, scammers preying on the uneducated. So financial YouTube over the past year or so has kind of turned into a cesspool of penny stocks and rocket ship emojis. And now the crypto space has always kind of had this reputation. The only thing that I don't like about it is that there's genuinely good projects within the crypto space that are getting kind of bundled into all these scams. So I'm not saying Dogecoin is a scam. I'm just saying that the tech isn't really as good as other coins out there, in my personal opinion. But if you're making money and you're making crazy percentage returns and you're buying a Lamborghini, that's awesome. Please consider sending me a gift card so I can get a ribeye. I prefer it medium rare plus with a side of loaded baked potato. So as long as you got value out of this video, please thumbs up, please share, please subscribe if you haven't already. I always try to enable my viewers by leading them to the water I'm not necessarily making them drink. I have nothing to promote. All I'm saying is that do your due diligence before you make any kind of investment. That's common sense, or at least you would think it is. Thank you so much for watching and have a prosperous day. If you want to buy Doge, click in the link down below. People getting rich off these affiliates. Let's go, baby. You know what? Hey, I'm gonna put my Webull link down there. Just sign up for Webull, buy Doge. It's gonna go to $1 plus. Thank me later. Send me a gift card in the mail. Peace.